Market.
Jonathan Young.
Thank you, sir. Just some matters which I don't believe are repetitive, but I would like some clarity around section 41AE, where the Minister may consent to a change of control of permit operator, and there it gives us some criteria by which the Minister needs to be satisfied. And here they are here. The Minister may grant that if the Minister is satisfied that the permit holder, given the proposed change of control, has the financial capability to meet its obligations under the permit, and 2, is likely to comply with and give proper effect to the work program for the permit, and 3, is likely to comply with the relevant obligations under this Act or the regulations in respect of reporting and the payment of fees and royalties. So in essence, what the Minister is able to do is cast his, her eye across the capability of the new operator as if it were a new permit application. And so it's putting the ruler across them. And what I would like, in terms of that point 2, is likely to comply with and give proper effect to the work program for the permit. I'm assuming in this that it is going to be the work program, particularly if it's offshore, but also applies to onshore operations, that the aspect of decommissioning is fully appraised. I understand under the Petroleum Program 2013 that there is a section 8.9 on decommissioning, and I just want assurance from the Minister and the Chair that aspect, because there are, as we know, a number of fields that are coming to end of life, and it's important because there's been some wells in New Plymouth around Ngā where hydrocarbons were first discovered, in New Zealand, where only in recent years has that not decommissioning, but there has had to be further testing around the capping of those wells. There's been concern in some of the neighbourhoods. It's quite amazing that on the shore of Ngā Beach, back in the 1860s and further 1890s, in particular, that oil seeped up through the sands. So that's why Taranaki is such a rich hydrocarbon basin. But it has been nearly 100 years later that some of these concerns have arisen around some of the wells, and I was there on site with the Regional Council and Ngāti Tawhiti as they were looking at some of their land where they were proposing to build a marae, where there had to be some assurance and some investigations and certainly some investment to find out the answer, whether that well that was there was now safe and secure. Nearly 100 years later. So what we need to have the assurance of is that when there's a change of ownership, that there is the capability not just to do business as usual, but also to, if there's going to be a decommissioning of a well, whether that's onshore or offshore, that company has thorough capability, or if not, that they have the financial capability to bring in those experts who can do that work. We certainly want to know that when a field comes to end of life, that it is finally closed down and decommissioned to the satisfaction of all environmental concerns, health and safety concerns, and that there's not going to be issues that come back years later. And certainly when as a field comes towards the end of life, I know that MB, the government, and the Minister are engaged with exploration and production companies to discuss and plan that process that often takes many, many years. So I'm assuming it'd be good if we can have clarification whether in 41AE, Part 1A2, that the Minister can approve a proposed change of control if that company is likely to comply with and give proper effect to the work program for the permit. I think is likely to comply with is a bit loose. I think that we would like something a bit firmer than that. Perhaps shall comply with. Thank you, sir.
I call the Honourable Paul Goldsmith.
Mr. Chair, I just want to focus here on